My daughter is great. My son-in-law, Brooklyn, is great. And then he said, I look forward to them having a long, happy marriage together. He just is keeping it PC and PC only, child. But then it's like, it's interesting. Ever since the story dropped, we've kind of been waiting for both sides to kind of make a massive, another follow-up statement, whether it's Brooklyn, whether it's the family, whether it's the parents, whoever. We want someone to say something.
Hollywood never runs short on drama, but sometimes a story hits different. This isn't just your usual celebrity gossip. It's like watching a real-life chess match of power, pride, and emotion play out under the hottest lights in the industry. This tale's got it all: legacy, control, love, and ego colliding in a storm that only fame could create. But here's the twist. It didn't start on a glitzy red carpet or at some wild movie premiere. Nope. It all began in a quiet conference room far away from the Hollywood chaos at the Wall Street Journal's Invest Live event in West Palm Beach. There stood billionaire investor Nicola Peltz, taking the stage in front of a crowd that couldn't be more different: T-slick suits, serious faces, all business. But no matter how far he was from Hollywood, that family drama still followed him like a shadow. When someone brought up the headlines about his famous family, Nelson didn't flinch. He just threw out a calm, DIY joke that had everyone buzzing. He smiled and said he hadn't noticed a thing, and the room burst out laughing. But that calm grin, it said everything. That's the confidence of a man who's been running the game for years, as Simone, who can command a crowd without breaking a sweat. He didn't need to flex his power. His silence spoke louder than words. Still, behind that smooth humor there was a weight, a truth too real to hide. Everyone already knew his daughter, Nicola Peltz Beckham, and her husband, Brooklyn Beckham, were blowing up the tabloids non-stop. The rumors, the tension, the whispers, it was everywhere. And while most people might have tried to dodge the question completely, Nelson didn't. He handled it like a PR, sharp, measured, and strategic. Every word felt calculated, like he was playing chess. While everyone else was just guessing moves, he made sure the room got one message loud and clear: this wasn't the time or place for gossip. Money talk ruled here, not headlines. But underneath that firm, composed answer was something much deeper, something personal. Without missing a beat, Nelson said his daughter's amazing, his son-in-law's great, and he hopes they'll have a long, happy marriage together. It sounded pure, wholesome even. But for those who knew the storm swirling around the Beckham family lately, those words carried weight. Almost like a subtle message wrapped in calm support. This wasn't just a proud dad defending his kids. This was a billionaire strategist moving carefully through a public family showdown that the world couldn't stop watching. With 10 kids and a career built on boardroom battles, Nelson's mastered the art of staying cool under pressure. When things heat up, he doesn't crack, he calculates. And came that moment, the one that really exposed Nelson's mindset. When someone asked what advice he gives his kids, he didn't sugarcoat a single thing. He said straight up, his best advice is to stay the hell out of the press. That tone, firm, sharp, and seasoned, carried the weight of someone who's seen how messy the spotlight can get. Then, with that cool edge only time and power can sharpen, he questioned. If the media ever does any real good at all. The crowd laughed, but it wasn't just amusement. Some nodded knowingly, because deep down, they got it. By that point, everyone realized the situation had already spun out of his hands. The headlines were already on fire, and this time, the spark didn't come from the usual gossip outlets or some anonymous insider. Nope, this time, the chaos came from inside the family circle itself. Just weeks earlier, Brooklyn Beckham had blown up Instagram with a post that no one saw coming. Fans were shocked, especially since Brooklyn had always been the quiet one, staying out of the drama that usually surrounded his superstar parents. But that silence didn't last. His post flipped everything upside down in seconds. In it, Brooklyn dropped a bombshell, saying he'd been controlled by his parents for most of his life. That one line spread like wildfire, turning whispers into an all-out media frenzy. But he didn't stop there. He took it even further, accusing his parents of trying to sabotage his relationship long before his wedding day. It was RAW, emotional, and messy, and it shattered the perfect picture the world thought they knew about the Beckham family. And according to Brooklyn, that meddling didn't stop not even after he said, "I do." He didn't hold back for a second. Brooklyn claimed his wife, Nicola, had been flat-out disrespected by his family, even after they'd tried again and again to keep things peaceful. These weren't random rants or emotional outbursts, no. These were sharp, personal shots fired straight from the heart. And who were they aimed at? None other than two of the biggest names in pop culture: David Beckham, the global football legend, and Victoria Beckham, the former Spice Girl turned high-fashion powerhouse. For years, the Beckhams had been Hollywood royalty, the picture-perfect family that seemed untouchable. Matching outfits, smiling red carpet moments, sweet interviews. They made perfection look effortless. But then came Brooklyn's post-hand boom, that flawless image cracked wide open. Suddenly, the world wasn't seeing a polished brand anymore. They were seeing a real family in turmoil. The picture-perfect illusion vanished in an instant, replaced with RAW tension and silence that spoke volumes. What really shook everyone, though, was what came next: absolute silence. David and Victoria didn't clap back, didn't post some emotional message, didn't even drop a subtle PR move to calm things down. No interviews, no statements, nothing. In a world where everyone fights back online, their silence was deafening. It screamed louder than any public response ever could. And that's exactly when Nicola Peltz's calm words started to hit differently. By standing publicly with Nicola and Brooklyn, he didn't just sound like a proud father-in-law, became the one steady voice in the middle of a full-blown family storm. Nelson didn't throw shade at the Beckhams, and he didn't back up Brooklyn's accusations either. But he also didn't step away or pretend nothing was going on. That balance said everything without him spelling it out. Instead of diving into the drama, he kept the spotlight right where he wanted it, on love, happiness, and the future of his daughter's marriage. But for Nicola Peltz Beckham, this moment was anything but simple. It was layered, emotional, and straight-up messy. Coming from a wealthy but mostly private background, she suddenly found herself pulled into one of the most talked about families on the planet. The Beckhams! From day one, every little thing she did was put under a microscope. Every outfit, every look, every move. The media twisted and compared everything, turning even normal family moments into breaking news. And those old whispers about wedding drama, they'd been floating around forever. Talk of disagreements over dress designs, guest lists, and who got to call the shots. It all seemed like harmless gossip at first. But after Brooklyn dropped that explosive Instagram post, those rumors hit differently. Suddenly, people started connecting the dots. It all fit together, like puzzle pieces snapping into place. From Brooklyn's side, it didn't seem like he was trying to
There's this video of Brooklyn when he was a kid that is so funny, and he's was obsessed with these little turtles.
Draw a line and protect his marriage no matter what it cost. After growing up under non-stop flashbulbs and pressure from the media, this was his moment to say, enough. He wasn't playing the quiet son anymore. He was standing up for his own life. That's what makes Nicola Peltz's advice sound almost ironic now. Stay out of the press, he said. But once a story explodes this big, there's no way out. Every silence gets dissected, every tiny word overanalyzed. Even a casual public appearance becomes a statement that fuels 1,000 new headlines. Meanwhile, David and Victoria Beckham staying completely quiet. That silence has become its own kind of statement. The more they say nothing, the more people can't stop talking. What started as one post has now turned into a full-blown media storm, and no one's quite sure how far it'll go next. Some people say the Beckhams are just staying classy, keeping things private, handling the family drama quietly behind closed doors. But others think that silence isn't just about grace. They believe it hides something deeper, maybe heartbreak or pure shock. Whatever the reason, one thing's crystal clear. This isn't some small argument. It's a real, emotional family divide that's played out under the world's spotlight, where every move gets magnified 100 times over. Because when fame mixes with family, privacy doesn't stand a chance. In regular homes, fights and tears stay behind four walls, but for celebrities, those walls are made of glass. Every glance, every post, every rumor turns into public property. Fans start choosing sides. Media outlets twist a whisper into breaking news. And the people at the center, they're just trying to hold it together while millions watch and judge from a distance. And right in the middle of this emotional chaos stands Nicola Peltz, calm, composed, and unbothered. On Nicola's side, his presence changes everything. He's the steady anchor when everything else feels like a storm. A symbol of power, protection, and control. His measured tone hits completely different when compared to Brooklyn's emotional, fiery words online. Together, their voices paint a complicated picture, a young couple feeling protected by one side of the family while feeling misunderstood by the other. Through all the drama, Nelson never lost his focus. He kept his message steady. He believes in Nicola and Brooklyn's marriage, no matter what's being said around them. He didn't care about fame, flashy headlines, or public opinion. He spoke from a place of family, loyalty, and love. For Nelson, this was never about image or control. It was about making sure his daughter and son-in-law had a shot at real happy 7 while living under a spotlight that never goes dark. In a story packed with tension, silence, and wild accusations, Nelson's calm reassurance hit different. While everyone else kept dissecting every rumor and headline, his words brought a strange kind of peaky kind that cuts through all the noise. Meanwhile, Brooklyn and Nicola have stood tall together, showing the world that no matter the chaos, their bond isn't breaking. From matching red carpet looks to subtle social media posts, every move they make screams unity. They've made it loud and clear they're in this together, no matter what's brewing behind closed doors. And that loyalty? That's what's turned into the heart of this whole storm. At its core, this drama isn't just about fame or fortune. It's about a young man choosing his wife and a powerful family struggling to adjust to that shift. For David and Victoria Beckham, this moment hits hard. It's testing everything they've spent years building. Their image, their legacy, their carefully crafted brand. Every step they take now gets examined like it's a press statement. Is it about control, unity, or power? The pressure's unreal. But when you strip away the fame, the money, and the public scrutiny, what's left is something RW and real parents and kids trying to understand each other. It's about expectations clashing with independence, about love meeting boundaries, and about a family trying to stay close even while the whole world watches and judges every move. As the dust starts to settle, one truth stands out: these stories not done, not even close. The Beckham family may be icons, but right now, they're just humans in the spotlight trying to figure out how to keep love and loyalty intact when the entire world refuses to look away. Behind those polished smiles and picture-perfect family moments, the tension still buzzes in the air like static you just can't shake off. Insiders whisper that both sides are keeping their distance, each one protecting what they value most: their image, their peace, and their pride. Brooklyn and Nicola have doubled down on showing strength together, flooding social media with sweet photos and clips that scream unbothered. Fans are ye fooled. They can feel the strain hiding beneath those flawless filters. There's an undercurrent there, a quiet tension that fame just can't mask. Some people think the young couple's not only proving a point to the public, but also sending a message straight to the family watching from the sidelines. Meanwhile, David and Victoria Beckham are playing their own game, quiet, calculated, and controlled. Silence random it. A strategy. A way to hold power without saying a single word. Victoria's been laser-focused on her fashion empire, showing up at events with that signature poise that says she's in charge no matter what's swirling around her. David's been spotted at sports appearances, all smiles for the cameras, but keeping things distant, measured, and professional. Together, they're putting out one simple message. We're fine. But everyone knows fine rarely tells the real story. And as the weeks go by, the public obsession only gets stronger. Every post, every glance, every skit family event turns into a NEW clue in this ongoing family saga. Hollywood's had its
The ingredients is out there to see, and it's the best of the ingredients. So it's all done to simplify, really, my supplement.
Loyalty and legak erupted in fame's harsh spotlight. No one knows how this story end'll there be a reunion, or is this the start of a lasting family divide? For now, all the world gets are those perfectly curated posts and carefully chosen words. A glossy cover hiding a truth that feels more complicated underneath. In the world of the Beckhams and the Peltzes, every silence, every smile, and every tiny move means something. Behind all the glitz and glamour, the whispers are getting loud. Our people close to this situation are hinting that a quiet reconciliation might actually be in motion. Sources claim there have been low-key dinners, soft conversations, and gentle efforts to rebuild what fame almost tore apart. But let's be real, trust doesn't bounce back overnight. With emotions still running deep, every small step forward feels fragile. Like walking on thin glass. Brooklyn Beckham, known as the soft-spoken eldest son, now stands tall beside Nicola, showing everyone he's no longer living in his parents' shadow. His message couldn't be clearer. He's building his own life, his own identity, and no outside noise is gonna shake that again. Nicola, on her end, continues to move with calm confidence. She's holding her head high, staying close to Brooklyn while still carving her own path under the same spotlight that's tried to break her. Together, they've learned how to flip the script, turning headlines into armor and criticism into quiet strength. Meanwhile, David and Victoria have kept their composure, leaning on that classic discipline they've always lived by. Those close to them say they're focused on one thing: family unity. Even if that means staying silent in public. They've handled critics, scandals, and media storms before, but this one's different. This one's personal. The pain this time doesn't come from outsiders or tabloids. It's coming from inside the family. And that's what makes it sting even more. Through all the noise, one truth stands out: this isn't just another Hollywood feud. It's a RAW reminder that even the most glamorous families, with all their fame, fortune, and influence, still wrestle with heartbreak, pride, and the messy reality of love and ego. Fame might make every little crack shine brighter. But at the heart of it all, this story's still about love, pride, and the struggle to balance independence with belonging. Whether this ends in peace or quiet distance, one thing's certain: it's already left a permanent mark. The Beckhams and the Peltzes aren't just two powerful families anymore. They've become a symbol of what happens when legacy, loyalty, and love collide under the world's unblinking gaze. And in Hollywood, stories like this never fade quietly. The cameras keep flashing, The headlines keep spinning, and both families are learning how to live with the chaos instead of hiding from it. The Beckhams have slipped right back into their polished public, with M smiling at red carpet events, sharing carefully curated family moments online, and letting the media keep guessing what's really happening behind those flawless smiles. Meanwhile, the Peltz Beckhams are moving as on coordinated looks, matching energy, and a message that's loud and clear. They're standing their ground. Friends close to the couple say things have calmed down, but that quiet tension still lingers in the air. Some bridges seem to be rebuilding while others remain half-burned, hanging in that fragile space between forgiveness and pride. It's the kind of uneasy peace only fame can create, one that depends on patience, timing, and the hope that love can outlast ego. Through it all, Nicola keeps shining on her own Patty Landing projects that keep her name in lights, without leaning too hard on the Beckham legacy. And Brooklyn? He's out there doing what he loves, carving out his OWN lane, and proving he's not just David Beckham's son anymore, his OWN man, standing tall in a story the whole world's still watching. Blending creativity with quiet defiance, Brooklyn's showing his story isn't just about who raised him. It's about who he's becoming. Together, he and Nicola have turned controversy into drive, using the noise as fuel instead of letting it break them. For David and Victoria, the challenge is different. They've built their world on control and perfectio, but this chapter forced them to face something fame can't fix: a grown son carving his own path even when it doesn't match the family script. That reality seems to have softened the tension a bit, turning conflict into reflection. Is it about winners or losers? It's about growth. It's about how love shifts as kids grow up, how family bonds stretch but still hold when the pressure's on. No matter how bright the spotlight burns, blood and loyalty still run deep. Ask the truth beneath all the glamour. Some stories, even under Hollywood lights, hit close to home. And as the dust settles, one question hangs in the air: will this family quietly find peace, or will distance keep growing? Nicola Peltz's calm wish for a long, happy marriage still feels hopeful, while Brooklyn's bold stance proves he's not backing down. Meanwhile, the Beckham's silence says more than words. Every smile, every post feels like part of a story still being written behind the scenes. There's no script for this kind of family chaos. No PR move can fix what fame drags into the light. What's unfolding here is raw and real, a clash of pride, love, and legacy that no spotlight can hide. Maybe that's why everyone's hooked. Because beneath the designer suits and flashing cameras, it's still a story about family loyalty, misunderstanding, and growing up while the world watches. It's a father's fight, a son's fight for independence, and a family learning what it means to let go. The headlines will fade, but the emotions, they'll stick around. Each person's rewriting what forgiveness and family really mean, whether that ends in peace or distance. Only time will tell. On this clear, this chapter changed them all forever. What do you think? Will the Beckhams and Peltzes ever make peace? Drop your thoughts below. Like, subscribe, and stay locked in with Fame Watch. Daily Sagas FAR from over. And the next twist is just around the corner.